best friends with Nicole for over a decade now. And I'm also privileged to be one of the godmothers to the perfect Miss Samantha Johnson. First and foremost, I'd like to thank Sharon and Dave for making this day so unmanageably perfect. I'd also like to thank everyone for coming, as I know nothing makes Nicole and Tim happier than sharing an evening with their friends and family. When Nicole asked me to be her maid of honor, I was thrilled and petrified, all in the same breath. I started reading all the typical books on wedding speeches, and I did all the appropriate research on the history of marriage, and I had this grand speech in mind. Then one day, I started thinking about just why I felt this needed to be some elaborate ordeal. I realized I felt as if it was expected of me to put in all this effort. Because we're always told that life is about doing great things and leaving lasting impressions and putting in the effort to be all that you can be. But at the end of the day, this is what really matters. It's this ironically simple moment when you just sit back and you exhale and you realize that what really matters and what life is really about is the way you feel when you look at each other. And when you look at Samantha. And the comfort of knowing that that feeling is going to be there for the rest of your lives. It's not some great speech or some gorgeous white dress. It's that feeling in this very moment that makes life worth living. And it is, by definition, effortless. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm in no way saying that either one of you is some constant cup of tea. And by virtue of marriage, you will inevitably have to put in the effort to make things work. But you've got the foundation, and we have the faith. For those of you lucky enough to know Nicole well, you know that what has always mattered most to her is the happiness of the people that she cares about. She may have her own unique little ways of showing that sometimes. But nonetheless, it's true. She's always been there for me whenever I needed her, sending me cards when I was heartbroken, or just to tell me she was proud of me. We'd stay up all night laughing until we cried about things such as black and white cookies and room lights. But those fantastically attractive faces we used to make with Michelle and Alexis. And then there was always the topic of how freakishly small my feet are, and how hers, well, aren't. When Nicole told me she was engaged, I think I was happier than she was. I didn't know Tim well, even though we all went to high school together. But I could tell that she had changed since she became involved with him. I saw this confidence and this comfort in her that I'd always hoped she'd find. And I couldn't be happier that she found it with him. I'll never forget the way I felt the first time I saw Tim look at Samantha. That look hasn't changed, and neither has the impression it left on me. I knew at that moment, as I do now, that everything was finally right with Nicole. And I couldn't be happier for her. And Nicole's a friend anyone would be lucky to have. She's a mother any woman should strive to become. And she's a wife that any husband would be lucky to share his life with. She's always been by my side, and I couldn't be happier or more proud to be by hers today. And by hers and Tim's for the rest of their lives. On that note, I'd like to propose a brief toast. If you could all raise your glasses, please. Do me a favor and save a little bit for my follow-on act. To love, laughter, and Nicole and Tim's happily ever after.
And how about a nice big round of applause for our maid of honor woman. Please remain standing as we turn things over to our best man, Tom. He's going to do us the honor of our second and final toast this evening.